Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, where in the last episode we almost finished Florence Square. There is still a little bit to be left to be done over here, but for the most part our entertainment district is done. It is at least done for now. We're not going to work anymore on it in the next couple of episodes. Instead, we are back here at Manta Ray Bay, and as you can see, I filled in the blank spots of Manta Ray Bay between episodes. I did record it, but I got bored even putting down all these houses, so I'm not going to include it in this video. If you really want to see it, I'll put up a time-lapse of it on my Patreon. So that will be a Patreon exclusive little behind-the-scenes video between the episodes videos. But basically what I did is it's more of the same, low density, eco buildings, couple of mid-rises in the center, some parking, some parks, some schools dotted around, making sure all the services are met. And with that, I think Manta Ray Bay is officially done. When you zoom out a little bit, it looks like, it was a settlement along the coast, and it grew further and further along the coast with time, and then even grew a little bit further inland as far as it could grow inland along the train track. So I think that looks pretty cool, pretty natural. Even though we placed every single building manually, I think this looks like a settlement that would have grown like this naturally. For Marley Beach, we're not quite there yet. We still need to finish off the edges, but that's not something we are going to do today. Today is going to be about water and electricity, I think, because if we take a look at our water availability, it's in the yellow, so is the sewage. And if we take a look at the electricity, it's also in the yellow. So that are two things that we need to address promptly. For the electricity, I think what we can do real quick before we build our real power plant, we add another one of these geothermal power plants, which gives us another 80 megawatts of power, which puts us back into the green comfortably. We will be building an actual power plant over here in the near future, incorporating these wave power plants and these geothermal power plants, maybe even some nuclear power, but that is for later. Right now we're going to focus on our water treatment facility, and the location that I originally chose for the water treatment facility is this lake over here. We already have our water stuff right here next to it, and I think that is where we are going to build our extended water treatment facility. We have the highway over here that splits around the mountain, but what I'm thinking about doing is I think we're gonna move this part of the highway also to the top over here, so they're next to each other all the way, and then build our little water treatment facility over here with the option to expand to this way over here, and expand over here should it be needed in the future. So that is what we are going to do today. So let's get started. And here it is, our water treatment facility. Excellent. I think I may have gone a little bit overboard in adding services to this place. If we look at the stats, we have 960,000 cubic meters of water pumping capacity, while we only need 250. And we have 940,000 cubic meters of draining, while we only need 250. So we are pretty much set for the rest of this build, I think. But in the event that we do need more capacity to our water treatment facility, I left a little space over here and I left a little space over here, which we can use in the future should we have to expand on this water treatment facility a little bit. And speaking of water treatment facility, I added a district around this area, and of course you know what I'm gonna say. If you have any naming suggestions about water treatment facilities combined with island names or other water aquatic type names, please leave them in the comments, and I will pick one to put on this water treatment facility. For now it's called water treatment facility. So yeah, if we take a closer look, I added a toll booth as the entrance, not because I wanted the money from the toll, but because it looks like, you know, a gated entrance. Something you have to drive up to show your credentials to get inside. Not everybody has to be inside the water treatment facility. Then we have the main office building over here, which is actually a draining capacity building. And then we have a couple more over here, which also add drainage capacity. Same for these activated sludge tanks. These are the water pumping stations. Basically, these three are what pumps all the water around in the city. They have an enormous capacity, 320,000 cubic meters a week. We could probably turn two of them off and still have enough capacity for this entire city. We added some reservoirs, a pumping service in case something floods. I did add a couple of offices over here to give people a place to work, to make it look like this is one big one big water treatment facility where lots of people work with lots of jobs. So yeah, that is what we have built for our water treatment facility. Now up the road, I did add a little highway interchange. This one is created by Yumble. I downloaded it from the workshop a couple of days ago. I downloaded several of his interchanges. This is, I think this is version B, Yumble's Spark Glow, so partial clover. As you can see, we have two partial clover leaves. It was still a little bit too big for my liking. There were a little too many lanes in this interchange, so I adjusted the highway to what we are using. So 2 lanes coming in, 1 off ramp, 1 goes off, single lane, 1 comes back. So the lane mathematics check out. This 6-lane road in the center, it's 2 lanes too many for me. It should have been a 4-lane road, but I didn't want to mess with the interchanges on this side and on this side and have to do them all again, because I basically could have built this myself, but if I had to change this as well with the amount of changes I've made already. But now we do have another interchange over here that connects to our local highway. Not a local highway, what's this called? A national road, that is what this is called. So we have another connection over here. This one goes across the railroad over here. I sunk the railroad down a little bit, added some details around it, and now we have a connection that goes down here. I'm not sure where to go with this connection quite yet. Probably it goes around the mountain over here, all the way down into the city area that will be here. Then we have another connection on top of here, which will probably go this way. And I was thinking over here, this is a very nice location for a university with some sports centers and maybe some farming. Maybe it could be a farming university. We have one of those here in the Netherlands. It's called Wageningen University. If I'm remembering correctly, and they do a whole lot of research for farming and stuff like that, and how to bring it into the future, how to be as efficient as possible, how to use less water, how to use less nutrients and have higher yields on crops and stuff like that. So that could be a nice little university that we built over here. And then this, of course, is going to be the main city with 2 city centers. I think this one is going to be the financial center, and this one is going to be more of an entertainment center. Not as much entertainment as Florence Square is at the moment. So yeah, that is roughly what we are going to do on this map on Varus Isles in the next couple of episodes. The electricity isn't an issue anymore now that I added a second geothermal power plant. So I'm thinking we're going to keep it like this for a couple of episodes, and once this gets to be an issue again, that is when we are going to build our power plant. But for now, I think we can leave it as is. So now that we have Manta Ray Bay finished, we have a water treatment facility set up, we have another highway interchange. I think the next thing to do is to start building over here in the financial district, I think. And what we need for that is, I think, another highway interchange over here. So if you take a look at the highway, we added this trumpet interchange that goes into our entertainment district. We have an interchange over here. I think we could add another one over here, and then we have 2 ways into this, what's going to be a high density area. Maybe this needs to be a clover leaf instead and have another way of traffic coming in. Then we have 3, but I think I'll keep that as a last option, a last resort. For now, I think we're going to add another highway interchange over here, which goes both ways. And then we have this one, and we can start planning out the financial district of our Varus Isles map. So let's get started with that, shall we? Right, so we did a little bit of infrastructure work. I've added a new intersection over here, on and off ramp, and I connected the intersection over here. I want to leave this one as it is. I think it looks pretty nice, though I doubt it'll be really efficient, but it looks cool. So for now, I think we can leave it the way it is, and if it becomes a problem later on, we can always change it. I also connected this interchange that we made to over here via a roundabout, and that means that we can start building over here in what is now called Amity Square, which is of course not going to be called Amity Square much longer. So if you have any naming suggestions, again, please let me know. Something water related, something island related. So what are we going to do over here? Well, this is going to be the financial district of the entire island. So we're gonna have a lot of skyscrapers, we're going to have a lot of shopping, we're going to have a lot of tall buildings, stuff like that. But what I also want over here is I want a tram network going through this part of the city. And the way I always wanted to build a tram network is by taking a tram road. And let's see, where is the middle? Over here somewhere. We'll take a tram road and make it straight. And then let's take a three-way road, one-way, three-lane road. And on the other side. Excellent. So now we have a main highway, not a highway, but a main throughway with tram tracks in the middle. And the way we can connect all these up is let's see if we can make one big interchange a little bit further down. All right, let's see what we can make of this interchange.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
That looks all right. I really like the center to be grass. Or at least looking like grass. That is not too bad. Not too bad at all. I like the way this looks. Excellent. That is one nice looking interchange. Do we have some walking paths? Yeah, they turn green as well. Excellent. So yeah, very, very nice. This is going to be the main street of our financial district. It's going to have a 3-lane one-way street in each direction with a tram lane in the center. And this is a very nice looking interchange, even though it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roads, including the tram road coming together. It is only one interchange. So if we were to add traffic lights to this, yeah, it adds them everywhere. I think this is a traffic light intersection. So yeah, excellent. So let's build out the rest of this city. Alright, and here is our first little city center. And it doesn't look half bad. It actually looks pretty decent. We added a lot of tall buildings. We didn't add the tallest buildings that we have available, though we did use a lot of skyscrapers, but yeah, it's looking pretty decent. If we zoom out a little bit, this is going to be the main city center for this part of the map. Most of the rest of this is going to be filled in with medium density and low density residential. And yeah, let's take a look. We have one of the hotels of the new Hotels and Retreats DLC. Now it says that business hotels do best when built near office zone buildings, and public transportation connections are a plus. Now I did add a couple of office buildings. This one is an office building, so is this one. These three are office buildings which I merged together to form one big building. Also, these are office buildings, but it still says 0 out of 70, so I'm not sure how close I need to be. If there have to be 70 office buildings nearby, I don't think these are too far away, but I do think that we needed to zone the area in order for it to count, I think. So what if we do this? If we do this, it's still 0. Weird. Maybe it's a bug. Because they are definitely close by. Now that it's zoned, yeah, still says 0 out of 70. I don't think this is working correctly. So as a result, this building alone is costing us 5,000 a week, which is ridiculous if you think about it, but all right. Then over here I put down Majesty, which is part of the skyscraper pack. This one is part of the Korea pack, I believe. And even though it says high-rise office building, it's actually a tourist building. With all these unique buildings that I plopped down over here, this area is, one, getting pretty busy, and two, we are now bleeding money by almost 100,000 a week. It's at minus 74 at the moment, but I have seen it dip down into the minus 90s. So we're almost at minus 100,000 a week. Over here we have our Forest City Park, which is a little bit too rectangular for my tastes, but I was going for like a Central Park kind of aesthetic with, you know, a park in the center and some high rises around it. So in that regards, I think it's successful, but we might expand this park a little bit to make it a little bit less rectangular. And then on this side, we have the tram depot, some parking, a school, a library, And I did connect the tram line over here and brought it all the way down to over here. I'm not sure yet how the tram line is going to incorporate into the rest of the city here, what route it's going to follow. But yeah, that's something we will have to figure out in one of the next episodes. This road over here, for now, put an end to it. So I connected the ends. Same thing over here, I connected the ends so everybody can go everywhere they need to go. But I think this part of this main road is going to bend in this direction and head into this part of the city, which is going to be less skyscrapers, maybe a little bit more ancient architecture, or not ancient, old, some churches, maybe some castles, stuff like that. But yeah, this is going into that part of the city together with this national road, and probably maybe even an off-ramp over here. I don't think there is enough room for it, but we only have these two entrances and this one into this part of the city, which is probably going to be the busiest part of the entire map. And only having 3 entrances into there, maybe we'll have one over here branch off as well. Not sure yet. We'll see how it turns out. Next episode we are definitely going to be continuing this little Amity Square over here. I also think that next episode we are going to start the university over here. Maybe we add another highway interchange over here. Yeah, I think we have this trumpet which would fit in here between the mountains, I think, rather nicely, giving us a way into here. And this will be, yeah, as I said, the university with probably some farming in front of it, all the way up to over here. So that is something for next episode as well. But this episode we built the water treatment facility, we started Amity Square. I think we made a lot of good progress this episode. But this has been everything for today. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.